People who watched my ADV Pro model were trying to give me flack for the idea that I don't have the shoe, therefore I can't review what I don't own. I don't understand why that is, but if you're knowledgeable about shoes, the construction of the sole, the materials, and just the technology that goes into it, as well as taking first-hand accounts from people who actually have worn the shoes, especially wearing them early, to give you proper feedback, there's no reason to think that I can't review or anybody else can't review a shoe. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to have a shoe review on the last pair of shoes that I have skated in, and it's going to be the Lucas Premiere ADVs. I have a skated pair and a not skated pair, so that way we can compare the two from this one, which I literally just took out of the box not very long ago. Brand new pair of shoes, to a pair that I've been skating in for about a month. So let's dig in real quick. So this shoe is a Cupsole. So whole sole construction is of one solid piece. It also has what Adidas was saying about the Taishan shoe, where there's an inner Vulc wrap. This one has a top part of the Cupsole, which is wrapped in what looks like a vulcanized construction, and then they glued the Cupsole to the bottom of that to give it the aesthetic that it has. This is a very, very thin construction Cupsole, meaning that there's very minimal padding around the collar. So there's nothing really there to support you from getting snake bites, but it does kind of offer a very, very small amount of protection, and also just kind of keeps your ankle cozy and comfortable when wearing the shoe. It does have a heel clip built into the inside of the shoe to make sure that your heel stays locked in and secure when wearing the shoe. There is mesh from the first stripe all the way to the back. One of the best things I can say about the shoe is it is incredibly breathable. This is probably one of the best shoes that I've worn in the summertime, and it is something that I highly recommend if you're going to be skating, especially where I live. It's about 100 degrees right now every single day, and so I would not want to go outside and skate in anything that's not going to allow my foot to breathe and just get swamp foot right afterwards. So this is something that I would recommend for anybody that especially is going to be skating in anything that is going to be hot or is going to allow your foot to sweat a lot. Another key thing about this is it has a one solid piece toe cap all the way around the toe. It also has the recessed eyelets. It's not anything that's going to be really low on the sidewall. It's going to be all really, really high up on top, so that way it's a lot harder to actually break the laces. And the overall point of the toe is, it's not super pointy. It's nowhere near a just regular half circle or kind of blunt. It does have a point to it, but it is not super definitive. It is more or less, in my idea, I think this is perfect because it allows for people who like a very blunt toe to still be able to have a good flick to it without having it be super narrow and constricting on your foot. But with that being said, I do wear a true size 11. I got these in 11.5 and they were perfect. So sizing does vary. I do suggest going into a store and trying out some Adidas though beforehand, because Adidas sizing, much like Converse and some Vans, is a little bit out there as far as what is true to size, what actually does fit right. And for me, I had a little bit of pinky issues, but after about a session or two, that pretty much went away. One thing I totally forgot is the tread pattern. It is kind of a shallowish tread pattern, but don't let that fool you. The tread is very, very dense as far as the rubber that it's made of, so that way it's going to take a lot longer for it to bald. So for anybody that's looking for a shoe, this actually is the perfect shoe for both a low impact skateboarder who is preferable either to Cupsole or vulcanized shoe, because if you're looking for something that is, I do not suggest taking this down any big stair sets or big gaps or anything big, but for somebody that's looking for something that's on the low impact side or the tech side, this is a great shoe because it allows for really good board feel. It is very flexible right out of the box, but for anybody who is more prone to wearing vulcanized shoes but wants something that has a little bit more protection, a little bit more support, especially because in vulcanized shoes, it's more generalized to think, and just from my experiences alone, when wearing a vulcanized shoe and you are skating really, really hard day in and day out, eventually within like a week or two, if you continue to skate that same way, your feet are going to be very, very sore very fast. So overnight they might start to feel better. In the morning you don't think anything of it, and then you go skate in a vulcanized shoe and you start skating really, really hard, and your feet will start to get sore really fast. But for someone who wants a little bit more protection and to not feel the soreness for shoes, I definitely suggest getting a pair of these. These are awesome. Here is skating in it for about a month, and so this is also a pair that I did not do a particularly lot of kick flips in. As you can see on the toe, it's not really worn in. I did not do a ton of 360 flips as well. That trick for me is kind of come and gone. The shoe, looking at the side of the shoe, I did eventually start to blow out the stripe, only the first one though. And I did a lot more, the type of skating I did was a lot more rails and a lot more ledges. And so stuff more so doing from slide to grind, grind to slide. As you can see, there's not really much lace action. It didn't really bust through at all, which is a good thing. I really don't care for lace breaking. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it doesn't really affect me much at all. It doesn't really deter me from the shoe. But looking at the ollie area, there is suede, and then there is the mesh, and there is a little bit of thickness to the mesh, so that way you don't have just an easy quick blowout, especially mesh tears just really, really fast. So this is definitely a pretty solid shoe. Especially looking at it, you would think maybe the mesh would just go real quickly. It takes a little bit for that to go. Also the tread pattern, as you can see right around the forefront of my shoe, it is not necessarily balding so bad. It's just that the texture on the actual treading has long been gone, but the actual tread itself is still there. So really solid rubber on the bottom of it, and it really does do exactly what it's supposed to do, especially for a Cupsole. It gives you a lot of good support, and also this is a very good feeling shoe for board feel as well, because Cupsoles generally don't get a good rap for being good for board feel, but for something low impact and tech, this shoe is a very thin Cupsole, so you get that good board feel of a Vulc, a little bit of support from a Cup, and it's able to take a little bit of low impact to where it's not hurting your foot so bad. But again, this is about a month of skating, this is about 10 hours a week to be able to try to film the last bit of my switch off part, which I will link that down below in the description for anybody that wants to watch it. But this is an awesome shoe. The main reason I really wanted to review the shoe is because you can no longer find these shoes in the Adidas lines. So for anybody that wants something that's very simple, it's going to be as responsive as you would need a shoe to be, and it's something that is good board feel but has the support that you would want for low impact tech kind of skating. I suggest you go anywhere you can to find these shoes. They're all generally on sale, especially 6pm.com, skateparkoftampa.com, amazon.com even has pairs there in certain sizes that you can get for this shoe. Definitely check them out. Really, really good shoes. Oh, one thing I forgot to show you guys too is the insole is nothing special. So if you're wanting something that is a little bit more supportive, I use the footprint insoles. This one I just put the shoes or the insoles back in just because I was about to switch to a new pair anyway, and so I wanted to just put in the regular ones that I had originally, just so that way I can wear these around again just as my yard work shoes or whatever the case is. So yes, please make sure to go get these shoes whenever you get the chance. Also too, these shoes are very broken in. They just break in within about 20 minutes of a skate session. The board feel will come rather quickly. It will be a slight bit difficult at the very, very beginning, but a session or two, the board feel is there just like a vulcanized shoe, so you don't really have to worry about that. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the review and it was helpful for you. Please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed the content and want to see more. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or concerns. I'll answer them as fast as I can to the best of my ability. And if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like, and I will see you guys in the next video.